Welcome back to the very last episode of Stressed and Overwhelmed by Our Closet. This has been a long series of organizing and separating the clothing from the skincare. Last week, I finally finished organizing the skincare room and pulled out all of her current projects, work supplies, and all of our extra organizers. So today for the last episode, I'm going to make a home office in the kitchen for everything that you see on the floor. My plan is to turn this pantry area of the kitchen into office storage since she works from the table anyways. It's currently full of kitchen items though, so we're going to need to relocate these. But today we're just going to focus on setting up all of her computers and office supplies in here so that they're easily stored at night and out of sight. It is an absolute disaster in here. We're going to try and make sense of the chaos so that we can work a little bit easier because we need to get into the cabinets right over here. So here are all of her current work projects that she has, and this is all of the extra organizers and hangers that we have so far. Next up is putting away what's on the table. Once you start making a little progress and things start finding a home, it's so much easier for you to clean up because you know exactly where all of your stuff should go. So I'm gonna go set this by the makeup now. I know where the hair clips go. I know where her sunscreen goes. It's super easy to just go unload whenever you get home and put everything back. I now know where lips go. Easy. This is more eyes or contact stuff, so I'm gonna go put it with the contacts. Jewelry. More Q-tips, jewelry. So I can also go put both of these up because I know where they go. I have kind of organized things here. We have some computers, some office supplies, and this is stuff that we will deal with whenever we get to the kitchen. This is also computer supplies. I will organize it with all of the office stuff. So my idea is to take this one shelf that's massive and use this for organizing her office space. We do have to put all of this stuff somewhere, but they just came to add this construction and they added these extra cabinets and primarily this one. So there's a lot of space in there. Now we have a lot more space over here too. I think they're going to add like a wine fridge in here. So that is something to consider. I think we can do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start moving all of the food stuff. I'm just going to fill it in this cabinet for the time being, and then we'll get back to it whenever we come to the kitchen. A brief pause in our declutter to make sure that you're drinking enough water. I know when you're really getting into decluttering, you can get sidetracked, and the next thing you know, you're dehydrated. I am a camel. I am obsessed with drinking water and staying hydrated. My husband is a camel, and between the two of us, we go through so much water every day. And because we're not able to drink the tap, our option is to go through these 2-liter bottles. Waterdrop has come in to sponsor today's video. Waterdrop is helping us become a little more sustainable and responsible by eliminating more of the plastic bottles that we use in our house. Waterdrop was founded in 2015 and they are the industry pioneers in water purification. Waterdrop specializes in some very unique water dispensers for your countertop. The purification system I opted for was this handheld one, and it holds up to 3.5 liters or 15 cups of water. What I love about this dispenser is that your water's dispensed very quickly and all with just touching the buttons. What I also like about this electric pitcher is that it has a handle. It's really easy to move from the faucet to the refrigerator, or it's so hot right now you might just want to take it outside with you. The plastic is BPA free, and most importantly, it removes up to 30+ contaminants from your water like chlorine, lead, in mercury, and the filter lasts longer than most other pitchers that you'll find on the market. If you're in need of any water filtration for your own house or an electric pitcher, I definitely recommend checking out Waterdrop. For you guys, Waterdrop is offering a 15% off discount, which you can either use on their website or you can buy through Amazon. And now back to our declutter. Right now I'm doing kind of the small space shuffle. I like doing these declutters in sections so that it's not too overwhelming and it feels more manageable, so that I finish one area and then I feel encouraged to move on to another space as soon as I can. For me, it's just more important to focus on this one area so that I can move more quickly through this process. It would take a lot of time to start organizing all of these items that I'm moving into the kitchen right now. Actually, that might make me feel so overwhelmed that I just gas out quickly and I never return to these projects. So instead, even though it means I'll inevitably have to go back to the kitchen and reorganize this pantry later, it's still worth it to me just to get this office space out of the way as quickly as possible. It might create a bigger mess, which is what we call the during, but it's all part of the process and it does come together in the end as long as you don't give up. So I'm just moving these to open cabinets right now, and we'll come back to organize them whenever we get to the kitchen, which will be in an upcoming episode. If you want to get notified of when that episode goes live, you can subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. All of these are masks. Okay, this is also stuff for work, so I will leave it here. This is also work. So now we have everything out of the cabinets that isn't work related, and I've shoved everything that was in here on the other side of the kitchen, and we will get that all organized soon. But let's go back to the office. These are backdrops that she might use when filming. I found this, you guys saw this at the top. I thought we could just use this. I'm trying to do everything clear for her with a label, and then they can just grab it down. It has a lid. Perfect. Yeah. We made this box a while back for... These don't look like backdrops, so we'll leave those, but... Okay. Empty box is going over there. Next, I think it makes most sense to start putting away her projects. All of this stuff. I think if we can go ahead and put the projects on the shelves, that's really going to help us. These are the clear organizers that I prepped in the most recent episode. As we separated all of her skincare supplies from her work materials, she had said from the very first declutter that we did over 2 years ago that these bins really helped her projects stay organized. So I got more of these because she has quite a lot of current projects going on. And I also just love the idea of keeping our current projects in this cabinet so that they're easily found and easily accessible. I also love that at the end of the day, instead of leaving them scattered on the table, she has a bucket that's easy to throw everything back into, and she can store it behind the cabinet, close the doors, and forget about it until work the next day. I'm hoping this will just create a better balance of separation of work and home life. Okay, it's kind of bugging me that these aren't all the same. We only have one more, so we'll just change the one that we have. One will be different, which will be a little annoying, but it's okay. So far, this is looking so good. I want all of the current projects that eye level, and there's never a question of oh my gosh, I lost the current project. Where is it? Like, it's all gonna be right here. Look at the size difference. Like, that is different. And we can, oops, this goes here. We can also swap this one for this guy. One added benefit that I just thought of was that if we have all of her current projects where they are always going to be, like current projects will always be on these shelves, because her employees know that, and because her skincare room is not organized, and they're just better, there's better separation and organization. I think it's gonna be easier for Eunice to not just rely on Eunice to put projects away whenever they're done. It's clear communication for even her employees that, like, okay, after we're finished filming this project, I can take it upon myself to go put it back because I know where everything goes in the skincare room. It's not just up to Eunice because Eunice is the only one that knows the system in her head. Like, now everybody knows it, everybody can help out. So maybe that'll help ease some of the stress for her too. I hadn't thought of that before, but I think that's gonna be a really good benefit for her. We also have these that she is working on as well. So I think I'll slide this stuff on this shelf. Okay, here is a current project. She left her notes, so we'll go ahead and put that on there. Okay, so she left this in this box. I really want to try and transfer it over. I love that. Okay, more current. I'm so glad that we went back for this whole shelf because this is 3 shelves of projects that she's doing right now. And I think this is gonna be really good to show people the separation of, like, I think it'll help make sense of the skincare room from before too, whenever you're like, oh my God, and for me too, you're like, whoa, okay, that is a lot of like work stuff. Yeah, like I get why the room was so chaotic before. I am pretty sure this is a project he's still working on because I've seen her post for them. So I think I will go ahead and like stick these in here. I'm gonna actually lower all of our boxes and stuff. Current projects, we'll keep it to the bottom half. That way we can put more of the office supplies here so she can actually see into them rather than like having to look up. I think that would be a little too hard for her. Then we can put these on an eye level shelf, and you know, we can put cables and stuff like that. That'll be good. These are my favorite boxes for cables. Because they're stackable, it's so easy to get everything organized. So that's what we're gonna use these for. So we have this box of random stuff. Okay, I think it's an iPhone charger. I'm not sure what that one is. Here are just extra cameras. Oops. I'm even going to make a bag for old cameras here. Here's old camera equipment. So these are like iPhone in here. Let's see. I'm gonna do one for phones and then one for miscellaneous cables. You know, those always show up. Okay, this goes to the camera. I also found this pile of stuff in her bedroom, and I know if I don't get this organized for her, it'll never get organized, so I'm just going to do it. And right now I'm just searching for office supplies or electronics, anything we can put away from there, and slowly over the course of organizing the kitchen, we'll put all this away. I noticed camera equipment that shouldn't be in here, so I want to make sure we get that organized. Okay, this is all camera. Okay, I'm glad we did that. Maybe that's it. Here's a charger, office supplies. Okay, I will let them go through this. I was able to get all of these 3 boxes. This one I'm going to put tripods. Good. Okay, back to here. Okay, this is like random cables. I'll be the first to admit that cables and electronics can be really challenging to go through. Ideally, it would have been best if they were here to help narrow these down, because it's highly unlikely that these are all in use, but they aren't here, so I'm just going to organize them as best I can, and they'll need to go through these and declutter whenever they're able to. Look at all that dust. Cables are something that I think you really just have to stay on top of. Personally, my husband and I go through our cables and cull what we don't need, maybe once or twice a year, just to stay on top of it. Okay, got it. So I did find this sack of office supplies, which I told her when we were doing our declutter originally, is to just keep it together because, you know, we can use it whenever we make your office. Okay, so we do have this one that's stackable. We could put it up high. I don't think there's really a need to organize these, like hyper organize them, just because that's not the kind of business that she runs. There's no point of getting rid of them, of course, but there's also no point of like getting them super organized if you're not going to use like pencils every day. You just need them every once in a while. I'm not a fan of decluttering things that you may realistically need later, the emphasis being realistically need. So getting rid of something only to repurchase it down the road, I think that's just wasteful. Unless you really are out of room, I try to make space for these items as I organize. What I find happens is that after the next pass of decluttering or during routine maintenance, sometimes that's when I find out, oh, I don't really need this. Aquabomb, skincare, is it? Is that skincare? Yes, skincare, of course it would. How old is that one? Oh, it's still good. And then at that point, that's when I declutter it. But I find that this whole process just takes time, and I think it's better to be cautious with what you let go of rather than regret and repurchase down the road. We still have a lot more to do in the kitchen, but I think the office space is done. Let me show you the office space. Up here we have fabrics, extra office supplies. This is just an empty camera case in case she needs to take it on the go. We have all kinds of equipment for cameras and GoPros, random electronics, all the computer and iPhone gadgets, tripods, some easy access office supplies, computers, And now we have all of her current projects down here. The best part of this is, at the end of the night when work is over, why is that door not closing? Hey, shut faster. We already know Eunice is out of sight, out of mind, so I think this will really help leave work in the cupboards. That is the final episode of Stressed and Overwhelmed by Your Closet, but now I am stressed and overwhelmed by the kitchen. No, I'm just kidding. I'm so excited for the kitchen. It's going to be so fun and so satisfying because we are going to make so much space and we are going to get things very beautifully organized. I hope you guys enjoyed the Stressed and Overwhelmed by Your Closet series. I think it's safe to say we have created a true sense of calm. There's no more stress, no more overwhelm to be had in either space. I will see you for the kitchen project, but first we're going to back up to the old kitchen before we jump to this one. So I'll see you soon.